Oh. Man, it is too early for this. Coffee. It makes everything better. That is so strong. Hello and welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Jordan's podcast. In less than 24 hours, I'm gonna be leaving for college. That's still so crazy to think about. Right now, it's Monday, August 24th for me. You probably won't see this for another week or so at the least, because this week is move-in week, so it's gonna be super busy. I wanted to take some time to reflect with you all because we've come a long way from episode 1 to episode 40, and there's just a lot to reflect on. And also, this is my last episode for a while. I created this podcast just over 5 months ago with the mission of spreading laughter and positivity among my fellow students, especially in this dark time of coronavirus. And I feel as if I have achieved this mission in full, and hopefully you guys agree with me. And while we're talking about achievements, in these 5 months I've released 40 episodes, 1 blooper reel, and 3 special episodes, one of which got featured on my best friend's account, John Krasinski. I've also accumulated 106 followers on Instagram and 22 subscribers on YouTube, which makes me approximately 6 orders of magnitude less than PewDiePie, but still way more than I ever thought I would get. But here's the thing with big channels like that, when numbers get that large, each new follower, each new subscriber becomes a statistic rather than a real person. And one of the other reasons I made this podcast was to have personal connections with anyone willing to watch my videos. That's why I use Instagram as my main platform instead of YouTube. I feel like I've achieved this goal as well. Man, I remember the first time I sat down to film, I had no idea what I was doing. Now, when I sit down to film, I still have no idea what I'm doing, but a little bit less so than episode 1. Thank you to the OGs who have been with me since episode 1 and have seen every single one of my episodes. I did the math. That is 4 hours, 47 minutes, and 30 seconds, excluding this episode that you have watched. In that time, you could have watched 2 movies or 14 episodes of a wonderful, amazing show like Friends. Or a bad show like Parks and Rec. In my 40 episodes of making podcasts, there have been multiple times where I have nearly lost motivation to continue. And in those times, it was my fellow content creators who, without even knowing it, inspired me to keep going. So here are a few of them. Eden, former creator of Eden's podcast, who actually inspired this entire account. Healy, the former creator of Try This Podcast. Man, if you ever start up again, let me know. Andrew, creator of Catching Up with Presty. 10-mile run, are you serious? How do you do that? And of course, Danny from Danny Young Productions and Julia from J Songs. Most importantly, I want to thank all of you guys who are watching this. You guys have been with me through the good and the bad, and I honestly, without you guys, would have quit a long time ago. I love reading and responding to your comments and DMs. It really makes life easier for an extrovert stuck in quarantine. Now for the future. As I've said before, this episode does conclude Season 1 of my podcast series, and I say Season 1 because there will be a Season 2. I mentioned a few episodes back that I wanted to take the first semester of college off because I needed time to adjust, and I knew it was going to be hard, and I stand by that. However, the university is sending all of us students home on November 20th, through January 20th, I think it is, and during that time, I am free to make more podcasts, and I think I will do that. And it might actually just be 2 weeks from now that I continue my podcast series, because who knows, people might be stupid at college, but let's hope not. As I got to episode 37, 38, 39, I started to run out of ideas. And that's a given because 40 topics, that is a lot of topics. But this 3-month hiatus is not only good for adjusting to college, but also for coming up with a bunch of new ideas to talk about and having a lot more stories to share when I come back. Now, quarantine has been a huge challenge for me, for you, for everyone, let's be real. But my favorite quote, or at least one of them, comes from a book called The Hate You Give that I read recently. This is what it says. Sometimes you can do everything right and things will still go wrong. The most important thing is to never stop doing right. No matter what hardships you experience, even if it's another pandemic, never stop doing right. If you just hunker down and become absorbed in your own misery, then you are admitting defeat to hardship. Instead, never stop being kind. Never stop loving others. and never hesitate to take the initiative to lift up and inspire others. That's how you beat hardships. With that being said, I have to go because I have a heck ton to pack before I leave tomorrow morning. I will see you all, well, I guess 3 months from now. But before I go, here's a montage just for you.